fit coming off the Moto G stylus. Um, this is really just going to be more of me kind of ranting. So, let's take a seat back. Using the Droid Cam. I haven't bought it yet. Don't even know if I can. But I want to test it out, see how it works. So, today is 1/22, 2025. Trump was just inaugurated. There's a bunch of stuff happening. And I am freezing in the south. It's currently like under 20 degrees. We got snow. We are currently an hour south of Atlanta. I'll show off the CBD Saves shirt. Other side, there you go. It's a beautiful day. Right now, my brain is kind of reeling, trying to understand how the new administration has taken an old project that was primarily about understanding the human psyche, astral projection, distance viewing, understanding the human mind, how it works, why it works, and all the things like that. But then we come to this new project that was just announced yesterday where it sounds a lot like Aeon Flux. So, the capturization of all human DNA, memorization, they're doing that through the medical system and the charts. And they're, oh yeah, you and your doctor will be able to make better decisions and use the quantitative data from across metric systems, which just means they're going to combine all of it, make it into a universal system, so that they now have all of the information, which, as an American, I don't care. You want my information? Great, pay me for it. Or make my life simpler for it. Something. Stop making my life more complicated and wanting to have more information when I'm willingly giving you phone, iPad, computer, Bluetooth headphones, all of these devices that we carry around every day. We don't read the terms of service. 95%, I think the study I saw was 92% never read the full, past the first scroll page. If you have to scroll more than once or twice, they won't read it. Hey, we're not reconnected. Cool. I don't know what's going on. Probably weather. We are willingly, all people, not just Americans, if you as a company are willing to provide us a service that makes us our life simpler, provides us what we want, and doesn't cost us money, if you can figure out a way to monetize it, if you that's what you're doing, most people will say, cool, I'll watch 30-second ads, but I won't watch 50 30-second ads in 15 minutes. It's stupid. We tried to get away from all of this by inventing the internet to be able to have freedom, just to be regulated and taken away from us as we get into independence. Too many areas believe that humans are stupid. Most of us are. So they regulate and rule us into compliance and allowing all of this bullshit. Oh, Darwin. If you believe in evolution, then you should remove all warning labels. That's just the way it is. If you believe in evolution, remove all warning labels and all safeties from all packaging and allow evolution to take its course. To remove the dumbest of society. to remove those who cannot adapt. Harsh truth. But I was listening to Promise the Truth, a guy on YouTube, and he's finally come to the realization himself that there is no reason in this world to lie, to cheat, to steal. People are more than willing to give you whatever you ask as long as you provide something to them that they feel is worth it. I'm doing stuff here on YouTube, ranting, raving, bitching, putting out CIA stuff, bushcraft stuff. Why? Because I enjoy it. And because I know there are thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people around the world who don't have access to all the bullshit that I have here in the US. But they do have access to a lot of the same materials, especially because I'm in construction. Construction practices have been 85%. I mean, you go to Africa, some parts of Latin America, and they're still building with weird natural and stuff that I couldn't figure out. But if you can make it to any type of city, all have been regulated to death on building materials. So yeah, you can find a roll of Tyvek. It's not called Tyvek there, but it's a building rep. All the major metropolitan areas, you can find it on job sites. And half the time, yo, can I get like 10 foot of that? And the construction guys will cut you off a sliver. They'll cut you off 10 foot of it. Why? Because they don't care that people like me who run companies have to pay for it. But if my guy came up and I'm like, and he comes up, oh, we're 10 foot short. Oh, what the fuck are we 10 foot short for? Oh, well, this kid came up and it was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't want to be 10 foot short. But if you tell me the day before, hey, we probably gonna come up like half a roll short, I don't care. I'm gonna do it because I'm making profit. I'm doing enough to be able to make it happen. And yes, what everybody, especially Americans, Europeans, I don't, not so much. Most of them have already just given up and given in. When given a choice, people do. And we don't do it out of obligation or guilt. We do it because it's fun. We enjoy, oh, hey, I've got an idea for a company. I've got an idea that I see a need inside of my community and I don't have the skills to do it, but I see the problem. So, what am I to do? Am I to allow the problem to occur and not do anything about it? Or do I take the time, figure out what licensing and education and personnel and marketing and pricing do I need to go out to solve this problem? If I can't do it, do I know anyone? Do I have any friends? Do my friends have any friends that have any type of skill in this problem I want to solve? And if yes, cool. That is my guy. My guy, my girl, my it, I don't really care. I am in this to make money, to solve problems, to be a service to my community. Whereas other people see it as, hey, why'd you start that new company? Why didn't you just give that idea to somebody else? No. God gave me the idea. The universe, in all of its power, spoke to me and said, hey, here's an idea. I'm going to give it to you. And if you act on it, you can do things positive for society. But also, here's an idea. Here's something that is placed to you. And if you do nothing with it, you squander the potential of that opportunity. So, I know, it's all weird. How does this all go StarGate? So, Aural Intelligence. The ether. Space between atoms. Torrance Howard has a new design for it, and it's so freaking cool. Where he found the negative space and was able to quantify the negative space as an object. Now, this goes way past what I'm smart enough to understand and most of what my friends are smart enough to understand. But it is what it is. And I don't really care to understand the full complexity of it because if I am to understand it, the universe will download it and I will get an update and I will feel better in my understanding and comprehension of what's going on. I built it. 9 times out of 10, it's somebody has an idea, they message me, or I hear about an idea from somebody, and it's okay. Then that sounds something that's feasible. Then I get to work on it, and I invest my time and energy into research and development. My people are me into figuring out what it is, how we do it, and how effective is it going to be as a positive influence on the societal area that it's in. I like to solve people's brain issues. I don't trust my house because it made me sick. Okay, well, how about I come in here and we cover it all in stuff and we rip out rip out all the everything down to the subfloor, all the walls. We open it up, we clean it, and before we put anything back, we put in these test kits, and then we send them off to an independent third-party laboratory, and we get results back before anything goes back. So that way we know everything is clean, clear. We have no mold, no mildew, no asbestos, no lead, no any of the fun stuff. And yeah, that's going to cost you a lot of money. But what is your peace of mind worth? This new StarGate project is to take all the medical records and all of the diagnostic data and to flip it up into one big AI cloud. All of the doctors, which means everybody upon everywhere, because quantum's coming, will be spread out. You will not have any of your data stored anywhere unless you are Bitcoin somehow off. My wife just woke up. Oh, good morning. She's in Arizona at a marketing, not a marketing, a training event. She's helping put on some seminars for people. Well, I sit here in Georgia, the boys freeze my tail. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I think it's Droid Cam. But it's an amazing app. So, we're looking at this new Aural Intelligence program. So, all the information from the ether that they're trying to understand and be able to connect into the Akashic records. But the AI is not going to be able to because it's not real. The only part of us that can touch the Akashic is our soul. And you can't build a soul. You can do a lot of modifications to the human body, to human intelligence and connectivity, but there's parts of the body that touch the psyche, and those two, that's where they're trying to bend that space. When you bend the space of between the physical and the psychological, that happens at the crown. The crown, the crown chakra, the pineal inside your head. That projection up on above is what they're trying to touch into. Machines will never get it, and we know that. The understanding of how can machines move into a human intelligence is fine. They can be as smart as they want to be and crack all the codes, and there's no more secrets. That's great. When you really think about it, it is amazing that there would be no more secrets, no more hidden knowledge. Groups of people holding on to records and to information that they believe is only for them. When when God destroyed everything, only certain members and parts that were high up that had knew and had understanding of what was coming survived. They were separated. They didn't speak the same language. They didn't look the same. So, as that DEI lady in California said, you kind of want people to show up to look like you and speak your language, and sometimes just kind of give in to whatever you want and help you out. But if you're in a bad spot, they don't always feel the need to help you. And with the way everything goes, our records of our God and our understanding versus your understanding and your records for your God, they don't come together exactly because you don't have the same understanding. You haven't shared that prehistorical knowledge, that piece of it, to where this is how we got here. You see the cave paintings from 10,000 years ago, and you're like, oh. And then you look back, and oh, there's Gobekli Tepe at 13,000 years ago. And now you go back even further, they're finding stuff in Washington from humans at 18,500 years. Society has been around for a long time. People getting together and saying, come on, we'll follow this guy, or we all just come together and share and barter. That's the way it is. That's the way it's supposed to be. But now they're coming up with this new StarGate, and the new StarGate program is going to pull together your medical records, my medical records, my children, your children, all the adults, all the old people, all the dead people, how they died, why they died, what were their treatment programs beforehand, how did they live their life, how often they see a doctor, where did they live? If you live in the South, do you go see a doctor as much as when you live in the West Coast? If you live in Kansas, do you need to see a doctor about dengue fever versus when somebody lives down in Africa or Middle East? Do you need to go see a doctor because you need to be circumcised when you're not? You're not going to be circumcised versus when your baby is born in Israel. Very different things. But AI is going to try to throw it all together into one big soup. You can't get personalized results using the test, imagination, and history of other people. The doctor says the programs that they build and the protocols are individual to each person. Then how can you build a program using everybody's information? Oh, the more information, the smarter. But then you're not customized to the individuals. You're large scale, and this goes. My patient has this thing that looks like this, is this way, and you get two people that are 80, 90%, and the AI says treat it this way. Well, this person has a genetic trait that they haven't figured out yet, and it kills them. While this person just doesn't get better because that protocol was built between the two people, not that you actually kill a person because of non-genetic marker issues, and then one person just continuously stays sick, and the AI thinks that protocol doesn't work. So it has to start over and build it again. How much? They're already looking at 10 million square foot facilities. And they're probably going to jack them all in Texas. And that's wrong. They need to spread them out throughout the U.S. One. because you know at least two of them are backups. So two backup facilities, which will require decades of building for the power infrastructure, unless we go small cell nuclear. Small cell nuclear is the best way to go. So we China's doing. Hey, you need 10 kilowatts over here. Cool. 3 years we can have a full set nuclear facility up running and all providing power. It actually provides power year one when it's built and turned on, and then as they finish up, make it all look pretty over the next year and a half. Then they turn it fully over to whatever. China doesn't actually turn anything over to utilities because it's all state owned, but here in the U.S., well, private parties to make all the money because that's the way it works. So it's been kind of a weird little rant. Stargate, the name triggered me so bad. It's like, oh, you part of Stargate? Are we sending people back tripping? No, we're actually building a tripping AI facility over the next few years, which will collect all of the data. So the NSA is going to be real mad. They're going to be taking all the medical data, and NSA hadn't been able to get that, so let's wait for them to get all that information. Some big mad people coming out here in the U.S. Multiple government agencies are losing people, and some are gaining power in external ways that we haven't thought about yet. AI is going to get a hold of all of your data and figure out whether or not you should have potato chips. Uh, Potato chips are fun. But I am going to hop off. My wife just texted me again. She is fully up and running. Oh! My wife sent me a text. It's 56 in my hotel room. It's warm. Well, it's 20 outside. And yeah, I don't give a damn. I'm sitting here live. And I'm also recording, and this will go up later for people to watch. No, that's up my wife's board. That's her. She's going to be working on some of those businesses. She's got some kickoffs. Some things going on her side. This is getting ready to keep going the way um, the way it always does. A little bit in the beginning of the year, and then we kick off and run. And it looks like, due to the way the wildfires are, they're pushing more people out this way again. So we're hitting. She wants bullshit. Um, she doesn't know I'm doing this, and I know. But I told her she wouldn't message me. I wouldn't be annoyed.